Hello, dear colleagues. So, this is the topic of the collective research. Use the MOOC as an additional tool for teaching NoSQL disciplines in blended learning and distance learning mode. Today, there is a significant demand for improving the quality of the educational process in higher education institutions, in particular, through the improvement of the principles and methods of teaching various sciences by enhancing the practical skills of students and graduate students. The transition to distance learning and later to blended or mixed learning gave impetus to the active development in the market of various educational platforms, software for conferences, platforms for storing educational content, and so on. The study of databases is a mandatory component of the training of specialists in various specialties and fields of knowledge in the context of the concept of Industry 4.0. Databases are part of a number of digital technologies such as VUD services, mobile application, grid and smart technologies, artificial intelligence, and so on. According to complete ranking prepared by DB Engines in December 2020, the most common databases in the world were by location. You can see them in this slide. There are 10 of them, but here from the presented list, 6 objects belong to the relational database class, and the 4 NoSQL is like Mongo database, Redis, Cassandra. So, and NoSQL databases show the upward dynamics of popularity for the last few years in a row. So, for example, the platform for distance learning Moodle can work on the basis of database servers such as MySQL, MariaDB, MongoDB, so CouchDB, Microsoft SQL Server. These data show that NoSQL databases are important in the IT market, as the modern digital world and modern technologies, for the most part, require the operation of large amounts of unstructured data, support for simultaneous operation of a large number of users, horizontal scaling, application of cloud technologies, ensuring a high level of performance, fault tolerance, and reliability. So we are talking about NoSQL as it is a new generation of databases that is characterized by models and technologies of operation that are different from traditional relation models. Yes, they arose as a reaction to the existing problems of traditional SQL databases. The term NoSQL refers to databases whose models are non-relational. So characteristic features of such databases, yes, you can see it on the slide. It's like actually lack of SQL query language and mechanism to support transactions with ACID requirements. So it's work in a distributed environment, horizontal scaling, lack of rigid data storage scheme, and so on. So there is currently no clearly defined classification of these databases. Most researchers agree that all NoSQL databases can be divided into 4 groups according to the data organization model. Yes, key value, tabular, column-oriented, document-oriented, and graph databases. Each of these data models is characterized by structural and technological features that should be introduced to students and graduate students. So we believe that the study of a specific type of database, NoSQL, should be supplemented, for example, by using as an additional learning tool and MOOC platforms. Indicative, in our opinion, is the experience of using MOOC in the study of disciplines related to database NoSQL, for example, in Kiev National Economic University named after Vadim Hetman. So in this university, there is a discipline organization of NoSQL databases. So this slide presents the author's vision and visualization of the transformation of the discipline organization of NoSQL databases for different models of learning organizations. So during the quarantine restrictions, there was a transition from this blended mixed learning, yes, to distance learning. Contact classes from the audience were moved to a virtual environment by while maintaining the aspect of synchronicity of interaction. The slide shows already the distribution of time between synchronous and asynchronous modes of operation within the distance learning mode. In addition, there was a question of ensuring the knowledge of students during the mastering of the discipline, organization of NoSQL databases. So to select online courses that are potentially relevant to the curriculum of the discipline, organization of NoSQL databases, an analysis of existing MOOC platforms was conducted using the web resource MOOC list. The results of which are presented in a table. Yes, so based on the circumstances that the basic database NoSQL in course defined in different these positions. So the table one, yes, it's like actually table one provides a comparative description of individual MOOC platforms containing online courses with NoSQL. The presented data show that the presented MOOCs contain courses on various aspects of NoSQL in a very wide range. In order to select the most relevant to the objectives of the MOOC course, several criteria were established. For example, no cost for the course, the possibility of obtaining a certificate free of charge, yes, and the MOOC must contain a course related to one of more basic database NoSQL courses. Of course, language of instruction English, and training period should not exceed 2 months. And if to analyze the effectiveness of innovation in the transformation of the discipline, organization of databases NoSQL during the end of 2020, an anonymous survey was conducted among students of the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th courses. The distribution of respondents and their answers are presented on the slide. You can see them. So the data obtained indicates several important results. 55.9% of them, of the students, yes, they already encountered the concept of NoSQL at work, during training, self-education, and so on. 26.5% of students, before starting the discipline organization of databases NoSQL, they have already tried to search for online courses and to study by their own. 76.5% of respondents consider starting this course within the educational and professional program useful and important, and 44.1% necessary for a career in case you are in IT. 52.9% express a desire to take an additional in-depth, like more detailed course related to database NoSQL, in particular to study the processes of administration, integration, etc. 85.3% stated that there is, in this course, it is important for them to gain knowledge of a practical nature. 26.5% find it useful to take additional courses and MOOC Coursera. 32.2%, they said that for them, yes, will be MOOC from vendors in particular, like MongoDB University, Redis University, and other noted that they had enough practical material to provide the course. It was 17.6% and expected to gain more knowledge in the workplace. It's like 19.7%. And 82.2% of students believe that using of MOOC as an additional learning tool is really beneficial for them. So like actually the summary, the conclusion, yes, we can see that educational process organization in distance or mixed forms require taking into account peculiarities of higher education specialities, yes, and there are important prerequisites for MOOC effective use in practice of free educational institutions and research institutions. So, and also it is like shown how learning models change, influence transformation ways of presenting already information by teachers to students or lecturer to students, additional online tools, inclusion in educational process, including number of MOOC. Yes, so, and of course, it was determined that Coursera, MongoDB University, Redis University, yes, will be the most optimal for purposes of this course learning, and it is proved by comparative analysis of distance learning platforms containing courses related to database NoSQL, content and operational component of academic disciplines related to database design and study were updated. So we can see that the interviewing of students who studied the discipline organization on NoSQL databases in different years showed high level of their satisfaction with the opportunity to acquire professional competences, including through the use of MOOC as an additional online learning tool. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all.